So do you feel like you say, I'm sorry, too much? Well, then you're not alone. So many people are apologizing so often that it now has a name. It's called the sorry syndrome. And here to talk about why we over-apologize and skills to say what we really mean, we welcome the founder of the Confidence Project back to the show. Tracy Hooper's here. Hi, Tracy.
Hello, Trey.
Oh, boy. This is a good topic because I didn't realize how many times people really do say, I'm sorry, even myself.
Yes.
So why do you think that we're apologizing so much?
People want to be likable. They want to be polite. They want to avoid conflict. That's a big thing. If I say I'm sorry, then nothing will escalate.
Ah.
And I'm sorry is kind of one of those filler phrases. Like, you know what I mean? Does that make sense to you? I'm sorry.
Oh.
Those are filler phrases to make us not seem so aggressive.
I see.
And so that's part of the reason why people say I'm sorry. It's kind of a habit.
So people are just doing it anytime almost.
Anytime. So go into an elevator. If it's crowded, somebody will say, oh, I'm sorry. Instead of thanks for making space for me.
Yeah.
Or if two people are going into an open door, somebody will say, oh, I'm sorry, versus after you.
You know what? You're right. I think I've done that where you go in and you're like, oh, sorry, but I'm not really sorry. Maybe I don't know if I'm sorry.
You know, sometimes we need to apologize.
Sure.
But really, to take on an I'm sorry when you haven't done something wrong does three things. First, it chips away at your confidence. Secondly, it gives a message to people that you're not really capable of doing something, or you're taking on other people's problems, and it's exhausting.
That is the
to
truth.
say I'm sorry all the time.
It is. It is the truth. So those are the downsides of saying it. So you're here to teach us how to flip the script, so to speak, on the sorries.
Great. So you have some typical I'm sorries.
I'm ready for this.
Okay. And then I'm going to give you some options.
Okay. So the first one is, Tracy, I'm upset and I'm sorry I feel this way.
You never have to apologize for your feelings. All you need to say is, here's how I feel.
Really?
Yep.
Even though we've been sort of conditioned, especially women, to apologize for feeling upset or angry.
Right, exactly. But you can just state how you feel.
Okay.
I'm feeling frustrated and I'd like to talk about it. Here's what I'm feeling, as opposed to, I'm sorry I feel this way.
Oh, I like that. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, here's another one.
Okay.
I'm sorry to have to ask you this question, but
So asking questions is good. That means you're curious. You don't need to apologize for asking a question. You can say, you know, I have a question around that.
and just leave it there.
Leave it there. It's cool. You know, employers are talking about they're not finding enough curious people to hire. There is something called a curiosity quotient.
Oh.
So boost it up and ask questions.
Okay, all right. So it actually probably could have the reverse effect that you want then. When you keep saying sorry. Okay.
Oh, yes.
And how about this one? I'm sorry, I can't afford to take the trip with you all.
Here's another way to say that. That trip to the coast sounds so much fun, but it's not in the budget.
And leave it at that.
People will be impressed that you have a budget and that you have a line item for travel. You don't need to apologize like you can't afford it. You probably could afford it, but maybe it's not in the budget.
Right,
Maybe
right,
there's something
that's
else
true.
you want to do with your money.
Hey, and how about that? And why should you be sorry about that?
Exactly.
You shouldn't. Okay, let's see if we can get another one in.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Oh, so this is really important because when you say you don't understand, it makes people think that maybe you're not smart, and you are. What you really are asking for is clarification.
Right.
So you could say, you know, that's a little confusing. Would you clarify that for me? So now it's up to them to give you a better explanation, and they'll be happy to have the conversation.
And you know what I like about that one? When we say, I'm sorry, I don't understand, it makes it seem like we are the ones that were trying so hard to get it, when the other person should be making sure that it's clear.
You got it. That's it.
I'm clear now.
Good.
I think I got it, Tracy.
I'm so glad.
Let's see, I don't know. Do we have time for another one?
Well,
No, we don't have time.
Do we?
Okay, one more.
Good.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but...
Oh, this is great. I call this breaking and entering. You don't need to apologize for breaking and entering a conversation. You can just say,
Really?
may I join your conversation? I'm Trey Renee.
Oh.
May I join your conversation? I just heard you talking about Hawaii. You don't have to say, may I join you? Is
Now,
it okay?
that one I might struggle with, and I'll have to practice, but I can
Good.
see where it makes sense.
Yes.
Tracy, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
It's always great to have you here, boy. That confidence, you're no